It appears that a trad wife influencer conned the internet into believing that she was a 37-year-old married, devoted wife and mother of 14 children. But it turns out she is not at all who she claimed to be.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
Who the hell is Patriarchy Hannah? I'm devastated. What's next? Is that Nigerian prince I'm emailing lying to me too? Yes, Patrick. Probably is. Online, she goes by Patriarchy Hannah. Her platform was predominantly on X, and this was her X bio. Christian, wife of What's Good It's Tea, nap apologist, homeschool mom, known party pooper, feminists say I'm problematic. And then this was her profile photo and her little cover photo. Patriarchal Wives Club. Now I know what some of you are probably thinking. This bio cover photo look painfully fake, and I would agree with you. However, hindsight is always 20/20, and unlike Instagram or YouTube, I do feel like X is the easiest place to successfully catfish people. So while yes, the lack of a real profile photo and the comical Canva-looking edit of that cover photo look extremely unserious, only recently were her followers suddenly questioning everything. For years, she was active on X, talking about baking, homeschooling her 14 children, yelling about feminism, talking about submitting to her husband in every possible way, and talking about her faith. And from what I could see before she deleted her X account, not every take she had of hers was a red flag. Some were funny, some seemed biblically sound, while others were extreme, and I did not agree with at all. Again, her name was literally Patriarchy Hannah. She was trying to be controversial. And it worked. Other posts of hers were just odd. Like, I noticed that she posted a lot about cooking and baking, but would only post a single photo of, cutting a cucumber, while alluding to the fact that she was cooking for her gigantic family. It was always just one vegetable.
I don't know, I'm kind of scared.
There you go.
Now, Patriarchy Hannah may cut more fruits and vegetables than I do throughout the course of my busy day. But I am taking my Balance of Nature supplements to make sure that I get all those fruits and veggies in anyways. With Balance of Nature fruits and veggies, there's never been a more convenient dietary supplement to ensure that you get a wide variety of fruits and vegetables in every day, with 31 different whole fruit and vegetable ingredients. Balance of Nature takes fruits and veggies, they freeze-dry them, turn them into a powder, and then put them into a little capsule. Then all you have to do is take your fruit and veggie capsules every day, and your body knows what to do with them. Now, unlike Patriarchy Hannah, I do not always have time to make full meals for my many pretend children throughout the day, but I do take my Balance of Nature in to make sure that I'm still getting some greens and some fruits all in my diet. I can carry them with me when I'm on the go, or I can keep them in my office to make sure that I always have access to them whenever I need them. So if you want to try out Balance of Nature for yourself, just go to balanceofnature.com and use promo code Conrad for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer, plus get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Conrad. And I actually take my Balance of Nature supplements, unlike Hannah, who lies about everything. She also loved to rage about working women and patronize working moms. She even went viral back in 2023 during the Sound of Freedom moment for coming forward about her past being trafficked as a child. Which I don't even know if that is true now that I think about it. That could have been a lie too. No one knows. Not only did she claim to be rescued from that world, she also had both fostered and adopted some of her kids. So her story obviously garnered a lot of sympathy, a lot of support. It's quite the story. And it all might just be that. Just a story. She had 14 kids for the adoptee savior story. She blocked me and several other adoptees when her fostering and adopting stories didn't add up. I kind of knew she didn't have 14 kids. No way. The way she acted and all the time she had on her hands. Honestly, that feels like the first red flag. The fact that a mom of 14 people would have the time to tweet all day long while raising over a dozen humans. It seems wildly far-fetched. And I think last time I checked, she had over 100,000 tweets. So this woman was very active. Many true trad wives are too busy running a household than having time to post on the internet. One woman said, trad women aren't social media influencers. It is a contradiction in terms. Most of these accounts are just role-playing. I mean, Patriarchy Hannah was making some money off of Twitter. So she's sort of like a working mom, She was making money. A woman making money? Yikes, Hannah. But Hannah, alongside her husband, Tony, who owns a construction company, lived in a place called Tonytown, where her big family lives. It's a great story. She also ran a Discord community where followers interacted with her much more closely, often sharing details about their families or married life, so she obviously developed a lot of friendships on the internet. However, a few days ago, people started to put together the puzzle pieces that this woman was not who she claimed to be, and the internet detectives quickly went to work. One of those self-professed internet sleuths, Ryan Duff, executed a fantastic, thorough investigation, so we are going to read through a series of his tweets that outlined everything people found. It's unfortunate because she has deleted her Twitter account, or it's been deleted and it comes back online, so I couldn't go through and really see what she used to post. I did one day, and then I didn't screenshot anything because I'm like, okay, I'll do this as a story. And then the next day, gone. Everything.
You gotta be quick.
I gotta be quicker than that.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Ryan said it started with a house. In November 2023, Hannah claimed that she just built a house in Tonytown for her son and her soon-to-be daughter-in-law. Unfortunately, this house wasn't built by her husband, Tony, and his friends. It was built by a custom home builder for a different person. And then here's the photos of her posting the house, being like, another home successfully built for my son and my new daughter-in-law. Her husband builds it. They do this for all of their sons. But the internet found this. Ryan said the house matches the Google Street View and satellite imagery down to the propane tank in the side yard and the stairs down into the river. Property records confirm it was built by a woman and her sister in 2020 for their mother, who has since passed in 2023. So maybe posting photos of your imaginary home would end up backfiring. Reverse image search is a powerful tool these days. Pretty soon, sleuths realize that Hannah isn't her real name. They believe it's a woman named Jennifer Bays, an unmarried woman. And here's her mugshot. For what crime, you may ask? Well, you guessed it. Identity theft.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
Jennifer. The bully on the internet making fun of working women. Jennifer also apparently has an overweight fetish porn account on an old BDSM website. Just let that marinate. Now, there are a few reasons why the internet zoomed in on this particular woman. In one instance, a follower of Patriarchy Hannah had received a gift from her in the mail, and the Amazon receipt literally said, from Jennifer. Whoops. And the address from that gift was attached to Jennifer Bays' mother, Jolynn, in Arkansas. Ryan Duff went on to explain this further. He said, a few years ago, Hannah had shared an address with some of her ladies in the group. I think that's in that Discord group. Property records on that address showed an LLC listed as the owner. Louisiana business search records show that LLC to be owned by Jennifer's parents, Bobby and Jolynn Bays. So the identity of a Hannah is looking more and more slim with every piece of research. She also shared a picture in her Discord, which happens to match the Zillow pictures for that address. I love how, her comment for this is excuse the mess. We just gotten back from town when it looked like this. Again, painting that image of sorry, my house is normally beautiful with all my 14 kids. The other Louisiana house. Jennifer's parents owned another nearby property approximately 25 to 30 minutes away. At one point, she provided pictures from that house, and as you'd expect, the pictures from inside of that house matched what's found on Zillow. At this point, we can be reasonably confident that someone within the Bays family is pretending to be Hannah. Hannah's grandmother. In September, Hannah's grandmother passed away. As it turns out, it was the exact same day that Jennifer's grandmother passed. In Jennifer's grandmother's obituary, there's mention of a Haiti Education Foundation as a place to send donations. Hannah joked about this in her Discord. The obituary also clarified some details on the family. It confirms that Bobby and Jolynn Bays are the parents of Jennifer. It also clarifies that of the 4 grandchildren that Jennifer is included in, there are only 3 great-grandchildren. So where are all those 14 kiddos, Hannah? Jennifer?
If that is your real name.
As for the husband, this is all they found. So far, there is no evidence that Tony exists besides some lightly used X account that would occasionally interact with Hannah. Per Jennifer's grandmother's obituary, Jennifer is not married. As for the construction company Tony supposedly owns, building homes, it turns out that's actually what Jennifer's father does. Little sprinkles of truth in a whole pot of lies. So Tony Town, and all of the kids seem to be imaginary, which does make me feel bad. Is that bad of me to feel bad? Is that crazy of me to feel bad? I feel bad because she doesn't have a husband. She doesn't have this great homestead situation. She doesn't have children. So it's sad, but it's not excusing this behavior. Her followers were obviously very confused. Some had spoken with Hannah directly. However, they did note that she always avoided going on video when interacting with them via video chats and rarely showed photos of herself. The classic catfish tactic for all of us who grew up watching MTV Catfished. We know this is the telltale sign. And as Ryan pointed out, she did use a different photo when she needed to actually show a photo of herself. And of course, this is not her. Ryan said, multiple people have spoken to Hannah on the phone, but never face-to-face. She often denied requests to video chat. At one point, those close to her asked for proof of who she was, and she provided a photo. Unfortunately, the photo she provided was pulled from someone else's Facebook profile. 2 separate sources have confirmed that the photo below was given by Hannah as proof of identity. Does not look like Jennifer. The woman in these photos apparently did come out saying that she obviously is not Jennifer, but that she did happen to know a woman named Jennifer Bays. This whole drama really did become a full-fledged episode of Catfished, with her followers coming back through very old posts trying to discern if they could see her real identity. And honestly, it got comical. Here's one post of a woman going back through, and they went through old photos that she posted of recipes and then like zoomed in on the glass to see if they could see a reflection of who actually was taking the photo. Oh, it's so good.
You can see her.
You guys are better than the FBI, LOL. I mean, truly, this is top tier investigations. Ryan even pointed that people were showing old photos of the recipes and showing that the hands looked like older hands than a 37-year-old woman. But if you look closely, like that's definitely not a 37-year-old woman's hands. And then apparently when people called this out, she would just delete the photo. So she kept this going for a while. At first, when this really started to pick up steam a couple of days ago, she was denying the claims, even reposting accounts who were defending her. But eventually she conceded that her account was all a lie. Shocking. I know. Here is her apology. I just want to say that I am so sorry for the lies I told and the hurt I caused. I never intended for this account to become as big as it did, and once things started snowballing, I enjoyed the relationships I'd built and didn't know how to put an end to it. It was wrong of me, I have repented for this behavior, and I will not be back on X. I'm sorry to everyone I hurt with my lies. Some things I have said are true, and some things are wildly inaccurate, but I don't see a point in sorting all of that out. The bottom line is that I am not the person who I presented myself to be. I am not going to be giving my reasons for why I started because I am not looking for sympathy here. It was wrong, and I humbly hope that you can all find it in your hearts to forgive me in the future. Please stop reaching out to my family. They're aware of the situation, but are very freaked out by people trying to make contact with them. They didn't do anything to deserve this attention. I'm sure you understand. Frankly, like at the end of every Catfished episode, I do feel bad for the woman. Perhaps she is living a life that she wishes to live in real life. However, that does not excuse her behavior in the slightest. Some people shared vulnerable information with her, and now they feel betrayed. And I can only think of the countless women that she ridiculed and mocked, only to be Jennifer. Like all the trad wives who were working really hard, that she was like, you're not doing good enough. And she was doing none of it. Oh. Yeah, if I was a fan of hers, I'd be angry. Ryan ended up saying, if you had sensitive conversations with Patriarchy Hannah, please take screenshots of what was shared. I've been told she's actually not deleting this, but weaponizing it against people. Please protect yourself and be safe. Another person said, what are the chances she will be back with a different alias and a different lie? So sad, she needs helps and lots of prayers for sure. Some people were already forgiving her, and others were accusing her of real harm, and asking her to delete any photos that they had sent her of their families. After her apology, in which she said she is done lying and she is done using X, she deleted her account, only to reappear just a few days later in an X space where she was laughing about the whole situation and dropping F-bombs often. So very Christian of her. She also did say in this space that it was her mugshot. So there is a level of proof that this all came out correctly. The sleuths did proper sleuthing. One person said, the Patriarchy Hannah debacle definitely makes me wonder how many of these accounts are even real, especially the ones giving Christians a bad name or misrepresenting him so badly. Indeed. While this story is wild, obviously, it is not the most shocking thing on the internet. This is not the first time that people do this sort of thing, and certainly will not be the last. Maybe even for Jennifer. Matt Walsh summarized this nicely and said, the big problem revealed by this Patriarchy Hannah thing is not that a woman with an anonymous account lied about who she is. That happens like 50 million times a day on the internet. The problem is that apparently so many people implicitly trusted this account for no discernible reason and became so emotionally invested in that now, they are somehow devastated by the revelation that this was all a scam. The problem is not that Patriarchy Hannah had an online anon persona and was trolling. The problem is that she catfished women for years into guilt and made herself a false standard. How many others in the trad movement are doing this? Hopefully none, but you never know. I understand some parents sent pictures of their own children to Patriarchy Hannah and are now very worried about where those pictures may end up. Don't send pics of your kids to strangers you've never met in person in real life. A great takeaway, Lori. Should be obvious. It is what happens when the internet becomes your community. The moral of this whole bizarre story is that it should serve as a cautionary tale to please not trust everything you see on the internet. Thanks so much for watching today's episode. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. And last but not least, if you want more content, you can follow me on X and Instagram. Thanks so much and have a great day.